Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel. Again, this is Quay. I know a lot of y'all are waiting on the story time on how I got admitted into a mental facility. So let's go ahead and jump right into this story. Got admitted into a mental health hospital. And it's so funny, like I actually went in there looking for, I was trying to seek for a psychiatrist appointment and referred me to this place. It's called Peachford Medical Care, Peachford, I can't talk, okay. It's called Peachford Mental Health Care Hospital. And so I called this place and they were like, yeah, we're open 24 hours, so you can just come on in anytime. So at this time, I'm at work. So I'm like, okay, so I can come when I get off of work? And they're like, yeah, just come on in. So I'm like, okay. So I went on with my day at work. I got off a little bit early. It was about 8 o'clock at night. And I, headed to the facility. So I get there. We weren't able to have any phones or really any of your belongings inside of the facility. So when I got there, I checked in and they took my phone. I had to take my belt off. I had to take off of my my Apple Watch. My wallet, I gave them everything. Mind you, I did not know it was actually a hospital. So I gave them all of my belongings and I had to go inside of a waiting room. And in this waiting room, it was like just a small room. And the guy, he took my things and put it inside the cubby hole. And he was just like, the wait time is about 4 to 6 hours. Oh, when he told me that, I just immediately had an anxiety attack just sitting in the waiting room. So when he said 4 to 6 hours, he locked my belongings into the cabinet, and then he just like walked out the room. So I'm sitting in the room and I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do for 4 to 6 hours? And why in the hell? Like, why do I have to wait that long period of time to see a counselor? I was so confused, y'all. I was so confused. So anyway, when he came back to the room about like 30 minutes later, and he's like, hey, it's kind of chilly in here. Do you need a blanket? And at this point, I'm sitting there. I have tears in my eyes and everything. And I just said, yes, bring me a blanket. And he actually had to unlock the door to come in there. So I'm just like, oh my God, where am I? I'm locked in a room. I'm looking around the room for an escape route because I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, it turns out I was actually not locked in a room, but it was a crazy house. So, like the people just had to have a key to come inside the room so that no other patients would come inside of my room. Okay, so fast forward. A lady comes in and she does my assessment. I didn't really feel like the assessment was very long. But due to the things that I told her, she actually asked me if I would like to have I wanted outpatient treatment, of course. I just wanted a new psychiatrist. She asked me would I like to have a 3-day stay for better observation of, my health, and if they had to give me medication or make adjustments to my medication, that they would just be able to better observe me. So really didn't want to do it, of course. But when I thought about it, I said, you know what, my mental health, it means everything to me at this moment. So I agreed to stay for 3 days. I was very new to an environment like that. And just the fact that I was so surrounded by a lot of women, It was an all women's intake facility. So at least the unit that I was in, there was, of course, there are men, there were children. But in the unit that I stayed in, it was just a women's unit. We have counselors, we have social workers, we had psychiatrists. There was a lot going on there. I did meet a lot of people, a lot of ladies. We reconnected. We got shared some contact information. Overall, my stay, to me, I would say it's worth it. I actually ended up staying there for 6 days. So my 3-day stay at the facility ended up to be a week long. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting to even get admitted into this facility. So let alone me to be in there for a week. It was such an experience. Although I was not that excited to stay for that long, I definitely do feel like my stay was worth it. I do feel like I learned a lot about myself, and I saw my psychiatrist every day for 6 days. I was on medication. I'll talk about my medications in the next video. Overall, I did feel like just being in the facility, it helped my mental a little bit due to the fact that, for one, work is still kind of one of my biggest triggers. But two, I've learned how to, find some other interesting ways to help cope with my mental health, to help even just to kind of learn to identify when I'm starting to have an episode. I call my breakdowns, I call them episodes. So whenever I'm in the process or in the beginning of having an episode, I actually kind of I had time to really focus on the importance of my mental health and all of the factors, or at least majority of the factors. Every day still learning, but I did get a chance to really, really dig in and focus on the details of my body, my mental health, and things like that. So the soap was horrible. The lotion was horrible, of course. It was a state facility. So okay. And even though I feel like blah about going there, just overall, it was a great experience, and it was a very positive thing that I could have done for myself. I got a week away from work to actually really focus on my mental health. I couldn't make no excuses at that time. I didn't have time to push it aside, to distract myself. I literally took the 6 whole days that I was there to really focus on my mental. So that's the story about how I ended up in a mental health facility and how I do not regret any of it.